We'll now move on to reports from the dais, and I will turn it over to Dr. Dessa.
Thank you. So 2 weeks ago, we had our COVID ops team meet to discuss physical distancing in our cafeterias. There were 2 precipitating factors to the meeting. The first was AP exams were beginning at the high school, and we needed the desks from the cafeteria in the high school to be moved out to the gym. So we had to drop some tables into the cafeteria, so things looked different over at the high school. At the same time, we had a couple of parents that had expressed concerns with the lunch configuration, specifically the picnic-style lunch in the gym that the BRS students were having. So we had our meeting, we discussed a couple of different things. The next day, Mrs. Hunger had sent out an email to her parents to ask which parents wanted 6 feet distance in the cafeteria and which ones wanted 3 feet distance. Based on that number, we were going to set up the lunch configuration at BRS. We got that number on Friday, and we were able to move forward with configuring the lunchroom over at BRS. So last week, BRS was set up with desks in the cafeteria for all students to eat either at 3 feet or 6 feet distance from one another. With half the cafeteria at the middle school, we dropped down some tables. We also had desks configured for them at 6 feet on the other side, and they also have the option to eat outside. And that is exactly what the high school looked like as well. Then we decided to open up on Monday some outdoor seating at BRS. So today was actually the first time that our elementary students had outdoor lunch at BRS. And I really wanted to take a minute to commend everyone. And this is really a full-scale team effort, from our cafeteria personnel to our custodians, to our administration, to our teachers, to our lunch monitors, to our aides, to every single person who works at Pleasantville. They have really just shown tremendous resolve, solution-finding approach, and I'm grateful for all of their efforts to kind of continue to evolve as the conditions allow us to, and as we continue to navigate the pandemic. So I'm very proud of all of them and all of the work that they have done, and I'm also very grateful to the community. I've had a lot of phone calls from a lot of different people in the community, many of which do not agree with the choices that we've made, but the conversations always end in perhaps an agree to disagree, and with always some knowledge going back and forth for why decisions are made the way that they're made, and whether or not there's an understanding of and an agreement. There's always an amicable parting that we, again, like I said, might agree to disagree, and I'm personally very grateful for that, especially in our current context, that we can share our thoughts and ideas that might be in opposition of one another and still come out respecting one another for the work that we need and the thoughts that we have. So I appreciate that from the Pleasantville community and the people that I speak to. So that's the COVID update. And hopefully we'll just keep our fingers crossed so that our kids in all 3 buildings can continue to enjoy lunch outside, and they'll continue to evolve their process. But I'll tell you, for day 1, it went fairly well. So kudos to them. I think Mrs. Hunger definitely has a sunburn from being outside all day in the sun. So I also had my first experience with Rev Day last week. That was a tremendous opportunity for experiential learning for our kids to really be in the position that some of our soldiers were during the Revolutionary War. They learned how to take care of each other when they were injured. They were playing the drums. They were creating satchels to keep them smelling fresh through natural herbs. It was just really great. They were putting up tents. So there were hammers and mallets and tent pegs too. So we might have some campers.
Did you get to see them walk from the elementary school to Soldiers and Sailors Field?
I was late, of course. So by the time I came over, I saw somebody walking on the street, and I was like, oh, this is Rev Day. This is what
Right,
this looks
right.
like in full-on garb.
It's really thrilling to watch them. They're so proud, and the teachers in their outfits and the kids on the drums, and it's all very serious. And our middle school librarian, Mrs. Freyer, she was amazing. That soft-spoken woman, boy, could she boom it out. It's really
I
a very
definitely-
thrilling day, and all the parents are dressed in inappropriate. You're not allowed on the field unless you are in the attire. It's really
It was very,
serious.
very intense. There
Yeah,
was
it's exciting.
all hands on deck, so, a lot of gratitude to all the parents that
Yeah.
volunteered and the teachers that give it their all, and
Yeah.
everybody. It was just a great day
Yeah.
for the kids, and again, we were very lucky to have
Yeah.
great weather that
Yeah.
day. And I know our rising fifth graders, had their middle school orientation. So that was a great experience for them. A lot of families came. I think Ms. Tamara told me we had about anywhere from probably around 80 families that attended, which is really great, especially if you consider some of them are repeats and they're still coming. So it was really nice turnout for them. The 7th and 8th graders had their spring concert last week. I know Ms. Grossman was there, and I know it was an amazing concert. They do such a great job. All 3 ensembles performed for this spring concert for 7th and 8th grade. And it was a very happy place here on Friday when AP exams finished for our high school kids. So whatever you heard out there in the streets was probably our high school students celebrating 2 weeks of AP exams. So kudos to them and their efforts to make sure that they're well prepared for those exams. And that is the conclusion of my report.
Thank you very much.